Now, this post comes from Endymion, and it was from a while ago. And I may have covered it back when it first came through, but this is very pertinent to what we're discussing right now. And it gives good background for how this situation with Erika Ishii is nothing new. It's just people are new to finding out about it. Endymion said, Ghost of Yōtei actor Erika Ishii wants to abolish the police while starring in a game about playing a samurai, which is the equivalent to a peacekeeping officer in Japan at the time. Think about that for a second, by the way. The clash of logic, where she'll do whatever to push activism, but then she'll pretend to be something else when she's acting. I'm sick of activism in gaming, dude. These people can't be serious. The game takes place in 1602. Atsu would have been a police officer samurai in Japan at the time. And if they're a Ronin, that's even worse. Because in activist gobbledygook terms, a rogue police officer is like the worst thing they could become. Flame me all you want, you know it's true. And to add more insult to injury, right around the time Atsu is active in Yōtei, the samurai warriors were becoming the new police force of Japan as well. Perhaps the story is about Atsu denying this right and refusing to become one of these peacekeepers. But again, that just makes their actions even worse, because they're literally running amok, causing murder and mayhem while using the weapons of said peacekeeping force. I'm tired, man. Actors need to stop being activists. They pretend for a living. And the more they open their mouth about stuff, the worse this all gets. Insane, dude. This wouldn't be as bad if they just didn't hire these people who said insane things. I hate that we need to vet every new game now, because almost every time some crazy person is involved, Atsu was operating as a police officer equivalent at the time, yet their actor hates police. You can't make this up. Wild, dude. And this is a post from Erika Ishii. 8/4/2020 said, abolish the police. It is unconscionable to allow this racist institution that terrorizes the citizens they are sworn to protect. Abolish the police, in all capitals. That's pretty interesting, isn't it? And then he includes some information regarding Japanese feudal back in the day when this is all being put together. And I just want to provide that background because Erika Ishii is the main actress of Ghost of Yōtei, and she is someone that is quite the activist. We got Grums on X who says, it's 2025 and Stellarblade and the First Descendant are here. Grok's AI companion also arrived today. There is literally no reason to settle for this. You don't have to keep buying their agenda. It's just a game. It doesn't have to reflect real life. If you want that, that's fine, but they can't insist that you do, which is a very important distinction to make here. And I'm glad that he said that. And then we have learning the law, which is what I really want to talk about here. He said, here's the face of Ghost of Yōtei, just having a normal one. It's hilarious how these lunatics are always in the most privileged and capitalist spaces. They consume every bit of slop and only know how to lecture others. Video games. So here we go. This is an 11-second clip of Erika Ishii. This month, we commemorate our elders' uprising against unjust laws and their clash with a violent police force that won us the right to party openly today. What the hell are you talking about? Nobody's stopping you from partying openly. They never happen. What the hell? Fight on. Yeah, keep fighting. Keep fighting. Yeah, that's really nice to say. And then we have Scouter V on X says, when games remove boob sliders and add stomach sliders instead. Now, this is clearly a joke, but I found it comical, to say the least. And then we have this as well. Pirate Nation, who said, The Boys star Karen Fukuhara auditioned for the role of Atsu in Ghost of Yōtei, but she was declined the role due to having limited acting experience. She's a star from the show The Boys and declined due to limited acting experience. Now, I think we know what's actually going on here. Is the people behind the game at Sucker Punch Studios wanted an activist to play the role of the person because they, at the end of the day, wanted to push their agenda because that's really all they care about. And this is Ghost of Yōtei. This is the state of play gameplay deep dive. And I just wanted to play a little bit of this to go through it because I had not reacted to any of this before. So let's skip ahead to, let's see, the part where Erika Ishii shows up.
By giving you the freedom to explore Atsu's past, the wound of her loss becomes personal. It's that pain that pushes her forward. Hunting down the Yōtei 6 is a near impossible task. She'll face 1,000 blades.
One other thing I've noticed from this, and maybe I'm nitpicking, because the game looks good. It looks very good. Almost as good as, say, Ghost of Tsushima. Why does this need to be on a next-gen console, though? Because if you told me this was PlayStation 4, I'd be like, yeah, it looks like a PS4, maybe a PS4 Pro. Like it looks good. Why is it on PS5 again?
But the Onryo is relentless, and with each victory, the ghost story around her grows.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima to this day still looks great. I'd argue it looks as good as this. Like genuinely, I don't think it looks worse than this game. It really holds up well.
Ghost of Yōtei focuses on player freedom more than any game Sucker Punch has ever made. But it's also a game that, at its heart, is inspired by so many. By the way,
I don't want to. I don't like. It's not the end of the world that the graphics aren't like infinitely better than the previous one, but it's just kind of a separate talking point of. I almost feel like either Sucker Punch has stagnated or video games in general have kind of peaked graphically, because you can tell looking at them like they look good, but like it looks no different to me than 10 years ago. Like genuinely.
Favorite wandering samurai films. So let's start off by talking about exploration at the edge of Japan. We all have different playstyles, so we set out to make an open world game that lets you drive your own experiences. Whether that's your curiosity to wander, your thirst for combat, or
right there,
a deep desire to stay.
It's just so unrealistic.
Focused on the story.
Not to mention it looked like Jin Sakai, like 1-for-1 hacking slash. Like they just superimposed Erika Ishii's body on the previous. I'm not saying that's what they did. I'm just saying that's what it looks like.
Atsu draws cards for each clue to keep track of all available adventures. The more you play, the more the game unfolds for you.
That's pretty cool.
As she makes progress against the Yōtei 6, her legend as the Onryo grows. It's her. Bounty will go up, drawing the attention of deadlier foes.
It's just so cheesy that they're trying so hard to make her be a girl boss. Like, oh my God, it's her. They're trying to make her like Jin Sakai, like the ghost, who actually like scared the shit out of people. They're like, oh no, she's going to do it too. She's also the ghost. Right. Prince Alfred says women aren't even allowed to wield swords during that time either, though. Right. That's another whole conversation.
Are you lost?
I'm looking for some old friends. The Yōtei 6.
Show her the door.
All right, so in real life, that guy would have just like lifted her up and thrown her out. Especially, weren't they like scared of her? And that guy's like 3 times the size of her, just like grabs her like nothing. So we're supposed to believe that she can parry by a dude swinging down at her, and she can just parry perfectly and knock him back. And then like women, especially this size women, can't do that. That's the problem. This is not believable.
If an enemy swings hard, Atsu can lose her weapon. But if she's quick, She can disarm them.
Nothing there? You're dead.
Choose the right weapon for the job.
Gets right back up.
To fight a
Like, again, I know it's a video game, and I know I might be nitpicking, but when I see a dude lift up a girl and choke slam her down to the ground as hard as he can, and then she does a backflip and hops back up after it, I'm like, come on. I feel like they're already outdated before this game. Like, they started development of this game when like it was super like socially acceptable to be like, girl boss, yeah, no one's gonna say no to us, we're doing it. But the problem with game development is it takes 5 to 6 to 8 years to put a game out. So that period of time has now passed. And people are like, what the hell were they thinking with this? This is ridiculous.
massive enemy, her huge Odachi blade is best.
And I said this, no, there's no way. There's no way a girl would do that to a dude in feudal Japan. There's no way. That's just, no, they don't have the strength. Look at how big that sword is. Are we kidding right now? I said this on SNH last week too when we were talking about this game. I might be in the minority when I say this, but when I play a video game, I prefer the girl to be attractive. And that is an important value factor when buying a game. It means something. You don't want to be walking around as an old lady wielding huge swords and swinging them and destroying people all day. Like, you'd much rather, I'd prefer to walk around as, I don't know, Stellar Blade's Eve, for example. They proactively are trying to say, no, you will find this person beautiful. Why? Because she's a girl. We think like that's the qualification now. It's like, no. The beauty standards are important if we're talking about a video game. If it's not going to be that realistic, then make her beautiful. And if it is going to be super realistic, don't have her getting choke slammed down to the ground and hopping right back up and then slashing a guy to death with a gigantic sword that there's no way this girl could ever lift in real life anyways. Did she just shake the blood off the sword to make it perfectly clean? I don't think that's how it works. Like, I know they're trying to be cool with that, but I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. Exactly. How'd that work out with Concord?
He looks like the one in charge.
Tonight, we feast.
Blades are great, but ranged weapons work too. And Atsu's got.
So
and
this is where I feel like the game could have excelled. Instead of making a girl boss sliding around, stabbing people, throwing them to the ground, like, she's a thin thimble of a girl in this game, at least. Have her use ranged weapons. That would have actually made sense and been cool. If you wanted to have like a little like dagger or something for up close combat, if you're like in the heat of a moment with a threat, okay, I might let that pass. But
arsenal.
Bounty hunter. A ghost.
Thrown weapons like kunai,
Exactly.
bombs, or even blinding powder can give Atsu an edge. When enemies switch weapons, you'll have to adapt. Dual swords are best against spears.
No more.
it's just, I mean, I guess I'll leave it at this. The game looks like it could be fun. It does. I think what kills me about this is the direction, the director, the choices they made, the main actress they selected, all that stuff was so wokeified. And they're like, we're going to make it just work. And it's like, well, technically it does if the game is based off the skeleton of Ghost of Tsushima with the actual talent that was at Sucker Punch previously. And you're just basically being a reskin of that with an asset flip. Then yeah, it's probably going to be just as fun of a game. The problem is that I have is clearly they're subconsciously, insidiously trying to inject ideologies and trying to pretend like it's not. And they're trying to make you feel crazy for pointing it out. Be like, wait a second, what are you doing with this? Who decided this? Why is she? Why is she the main protagonist? Is she based off of a real life person? No. Then why is it a girl? Who made that choice? Why did you make that choice? And if you can't answer that question, it tells us a lot. And if you can answer the question, I think it would be exactly what we think it is. But anyways, I'll leave that there.